sign Nyes,
Get it ready, boy.
Tavares, and Stolars for less than what they signed Kaprizov for. But who would you rather have? Yeah. Would you rather give those 3 for Kaprizov? Don't even tell me we're going.
We're already live. Yeah. When he says we're live in 15
well,
seconds.
I don't listen to him.
I know. That's the problem. This is the DLLS Stars pregame show. We're ready to roll. He even heard his own "Get Ready, Boys" and didn't register. So, all right. Well, it's preseason.
Careful with my
I think
snacks.
tonight might be more fun than on Saturday, which got a little
That
goofy.
is my dinner, though.
They're eating.
Your clam chowder.
Let's go right now. DLLS starts right now.
Start already.
Now. This is the DLLS Stars pregame show as we get you ready for tonight's game between the Stars and the St. Louis Blues alongside Craig Ludwig and Sam Nestler and our producer Ryan Vaughters. I'm Owen Newkirk. I'd like to point out 2 things before we get into the action tonight. We just launched our DLLS Die Hard sale. Fans now have 2 ways to join. You can either get in with just a $36, which is a big discount, with a limited edition t-shirt of your choosing, or you can step up and grab a limited Branded Bills Die Hard hat for $59 before they sell out. Either way, you get all the Die Hard perks, premium content, event and merch discounts, the members-only Discord, and more. Don't wait. Join now at alldlls.com/intro. And you guys ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Officially announcing. Now, there was a leak by our GM Ben yesterday on the Die Hard only Discord channel. So some of you already know. And in fact, we've actually sold nearly half of our available tickets. We are doing our first ever official DLLS Stars takeover Sunday, December 7th against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Taking the bus?
We are.
I was just going to say that. Why is there a bus
We're
on
taking
there?
the bus.
I mean, we might be busing to the
I
game.
think we're all getting on the scooter.
I thought we were just going to scoot.
Who's the place?
Yeah.
What's the bar that's got the bus with the horns on it? You see them in the summertime. They're hauling people around. They have the big horns on the front. Come on, somebody tweet in.
Yeah,
or do
get in the
something.
chat because, by the way,
tweet it in.
They're giving people rides from
already,
downtown
Luds.
from one bar to somewhere.
Adam is in the chat saying, "Luds, hurry up, man." I don't even know what that means.
Hurry up for what?
I don't know. Maybe you're late.
Who is it?
Saying eat your
Adam.
dinner.
Adam is chirping you already.
Adam, what the hell are you talking about? We're on time. Hey,
Luds has his dinner ready.
those aren't bad.
These are the
I've
chili-
only had a
You've only had
bowl of
6 of
clam
them.
chowder today.
Is that why you had the chili cheese ones?
And I
Kinda
spilled
keep the-
one whole drink in my lap when I first got here. You weren't here
Attaboy.
for that
Yeah,
part.
I missed
whole
that
pants
part.
were soaking wet.
Really?
It was great.
Usually Sam's the one that spills.
I
stuff.
did. I spilled my seltzer on my laptop. But
Wait, you spilled today?
that was better. Yeah.
So you both spilled
But that
it?
was better. That was
Man,
way
you
more.
guys are- I was stuck in traffic. You're spilling stuff
Oh,
everywhere.
we've been drinking
By
since
the way,
noon.
Control Alt owned, now parentheses Scott S wrote first his Bing Bong from his supporters club, then said, "I changed my name so Owen doesn't have a hard time with my name." Because your handle is Control Alt owned, which again, as Luz is squinting, he has no idea what that
gaming.
means. Sam had to tell us it's gaming.
Yes, I
sure.
learned it yesterday.
When do the Stars play next?
Instead of Control Alt Delete, Control Alt Own.
When does the Dallas Stars play next game?
Preseason game or regular
Preseason.
season game? Tonight.
Saturday.
Oh, is it tonight?
It's tonight.
It's tonight too.
There's a game tonight?
Hey, Lud,
Oh,
Sarah
we should
is
talk
in,
about that.
Sarah in the chat asked the party buses? Question mark.
I don't know.
Was that Sarah?
It's a tan colored bus.
He was going to say.
It's got like who's the Longhorns? Are they what color?
Texas. The
What
Longhorns
color
are
are they?
orange,
Orange?
like burnt orange.
Well, and there's like horns on the front of the big long bus that they give people rides up and
What?
down the streets here.
What color is it?
That could have been that could have been back in the '90s when we first got here. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Lonzy's like, I remember seeing it right after we played
you
Colorado.
want to talk about crazy pregame show? Freelancers like that has nothing to do with gaming. LOL. It's basic Windows command. Control Alt owned.
I was told it's because of gaming. Instead of Control Alt Delete, it's Control
Maybe-
Alt Owned. Or it's
Ryan,
at least for
do
their
you know
gaming.
who's starting in net tonight for
All
the
right.
Dallas Stars by any chance? Because
Apparently,
I'd like to hear
I
it
do.
from somebody.
but by
here.
the way,
I know
let's
it.
get back to this real quick because Kendra's got a good point. We need more. We may need more tickets for this takeover. Yes.
how many
So,
tickets we got?
we have already sold almost half of the
what's
tickets.
the half of what?
Well, that's up to GM Ben if he wants to disclose the specific number or not.
Well, half of nothing's nothing.
Well, it's not nothing. I
Well,
know
how
that
do we know what we have? Wouldn't that be good?
What would
wouldn't
you
that be
say?
good info?
What would you say if there were 4 and we'd sold 2?
What if there were
I have
20
big
and
power
we
for the
sold
court.
10? Right. So anyway, if
don't
you
even
don't
know how
know
many
what this
tickets we got.
Stars takeover is for a DLS, it's you buy you get a ticket to the game. You get to come in our studio right here and watch us do our pregame show ahead of time. It'll be a little earlier. Then
Wait,
hold on. No, I'm not done yet.
I got
Questions
suckered
at
into
the
this
end.
because I thought we were going to a bar.
We are.
We are. We're going to
Hold on. Questions at the end, Billy Bob. So you
We're
have
going to Billy Bob's?
No,
That's all the
no.
way out in Fort Worth.
no. I was a varsity
I've been there.
blues
We
show.
can take that big bus with the horns on.
Kayla can drive. She says she's CDL certified.
So pregame show will be early. Maybe, I don't know. This is not confirmed yet, but maybe like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a 5 o'clock game, right? So we'll have, if anybody that buys tickets to the takeover, come up to our
Well,
studio,
time for me to do my read.
get to watch our pregame show. Then we're all going to go down, everybody that has a ticket and us, to Hooters, which is down behind us, our next building,
That's the bar I'm
for
talking
food and
about.
drinks.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have dinner and beverages, and then we're going to go over and all sit together in the upper level, the 300 level rowdies, to watch Sidney Crosby and the Penguins play the Dallas Stars. Diehards, use the code
If you still own the Penguins.
DieHards127 for your event discount because diehards get 20% off. All right.
All events and merchandise. This qualifies as an event.
All right. Let's talk about tonight's game, Lutz, because I know
Oh,
you're clamoring.
already?
You're so
Oh,
excited already. He's so excited to talk about a preseason game. But as we talked about on the show yesterday, there were a ton of cuts on the roster over the weekend on Sunday. And now, Luds, it looks like we have a pretty much NHL lineup tonight. Maybe a couple of exceptions because there's still a few guys that we may not be sure on. But go ahead, Ryan.
We are sure.
Are we now?
Yep.
What's the news out of St. Louis?
It is what you have here
Okay. So literally,
with R2 Huru
He's the
and
extra?
Vladislav Kolyachonok as the extras.
okay. So Luds, with Jamie Benn being injured, if you look at those top 4 lines that are going to play tonight, that's maybe Colin Blackwell in there. That's pretty much your opening night lineup.
Yeah. And again, for me, Bastian's done a pretty good job. I don't think it's going to be a tough decision. I think he will start with Blackie in game 1. But this is what I like to see. I mean, I like to see as close to the lineup as we're going to see in, what is it, about 8 days from now or 9 days from now? And we'll see, I think I'm curious about probably how Bork does. And then I'm curious about Sam Steele, playing up in that top 6 up there. So as far as the forwards
Luds,
go.
I'd love to hear your side of this. If you're
Just saying that.
no, really though, if you're Glenn Gulletson, you just said it, right? You have Bastian, you have Blackwell. They're kind of going to be interchangeable.
Yep.
You think Blackwell has a step up. Do you put Ritzkovian above Bastian in that spot to start? Or do you
Put
have
him above who?
Like, would you start your season with Blackwell instead of Bastian here, and otherwise the same, or whoever's the odd man out between Bastian and
Who's our
Blackwell?
first game against?
Against the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, and then we got Colorado after that,
Yep.
right?
And then Minnesota.
You'd see
Against Winnipeg, I think I would.
the heavy.
I would go
So
heavy.
you would put you
I-
have
I-
Ritzkovian be a scratch, and you put Bastian and Blackwell both. in.
Assuming
Yes.
that Ritzkovian is in over Adam
Yeah,
Ernie
correct.
or,
Yeah, correct.
or R2 Huru.
Yeah, I would have Bastian in against Winnipeg.
See, I think as we look at that lineup, I think
And I don't want to say that because I like Blackie. I've always
Yeah.
liked him. I like the way he plays.
Yeah.
But I just, and again, I think Gully with a new look, new team, trying to be a little heavier, trying to make a statement, whatever.
I get a hunch that, and maybe it'll change, but that they kind of think that Ritzkovian has another level that he can get to. He had a great AHL. I know we talk about this a lot. Take it with a grain of salt because doing something in the AHL does not mean it translates to the NHL.
Yep.
Bloods, you've been very, very clear about that. But we know what Nathan Bastian is. We know what Colin Blackwell is, and we like them for what they are. I just wonder if they think Ritzkovian may have another level they can get to, which is why they're giving him a shot with Johnston and Bork on that third
You're
line.
talking about like tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought I'm already moved ahead.
Yeah,
game
well,
one.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to make the team yet or not.
Yeah.
We'll find that out. If he plays well tonight, I think he might have the upper hand. So we'll see. Look at the defense. It's going to be basically your starting pairs. Now, Petrovic did make the trip tonight. Kind of feels like
Nils has got to have a better game.
he wasn't very good the other night.
Again, not that he's playing poorly. I just think that there's a couple little, little spots in there. St. Louis will have obviously a pretty good lineup going tonight. So it's not like playing against a predominantly AHL team that we've seen the last couple of games that he's played. So hopefully he is engaged and does the right things tonight.
And he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to just not have a bad game, right?
Right.
Well, Lundqvist, we know Petrovic's right there. In my opinion, Petrovic's on this roster. That's
right.
That's what I think.
I agree.
So if you're Nils Lundqvist, you need to be better than what Petrovic can be.
Especially if you're going to play 24 minutes a night, 23 if you're going to be in the top,
with Thomas Harley.
if you're going to be in the top 4, I that's what I mean. We'll see how long that lasts if that's where it is.
We already got a bing bong super chat, so let's get right to it before we get to our next topic.
Bing bong.
Burned Oils with a Oscar Beck and Year After the Cup. 2 big iron fist luds. What? 2 big iron fist luds. Samzy Noski, the toilet handling specialist, and Owen and his eggs that he never gifted me.
They're up in the fridge. They've been there since July 3rd.
I think they might be expired by now. Wishing you a great 25-26 Dallas Stars season, and to all the good fellow Stars fans. Thank you very much, Burned Oils.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate that as well.
He'll be on that bus, won't he?
Maybe. It's a good possibility. I don't know.
Freelancer will be there. They just said it.
Or he'll be sitting up in the bar at AAC.
Let's talk about goalies real quick. Casey DeSmith is going to start tonight. Remy Poirier will back him up. Don't know if he'll get in or not.
Casey said he has the whole game.
He's got the whole game. Okay, so, I mean, this is exactly what he wanted. He wanted 2 games. Jake said he wanted 2. No doubt he's going to play against Colorado on Saturday.
Yeah, and the importance of these ones, as Glenn Golitz's talks about multiple times, is this is going to be a very different game tonight. It's not just more exciting for fans because you have more people that you know and more people to watch. It really is going to change the way the game's played. Golitzin talked about it being kind of an AHL pacing for the first 4 preseason games here.
Boy, that last one sure felt like it.
Yeah, so this should be a little tighter, should be some bigger bodies out there, a little more of that NHL style, and that's why DeSmith and Ottinger both want these last couple games, is to get the feel of that, because while you can get a little rust off in those games, you're not getting a ton as a goalie from those AHL kind of games.
I also think, Sam, the head coach for the Blues is going to want his team to put a good performance in tonight. And Monty will have his guys wound up. He's got a pretty good lineup in there tonight too. I mean, not a full complement of defensemen, but regardless.
Well, let's take a look at them. Let's go ahead and show the St. Louis Blues expected lines tonight, Ryan, if you would. What are your thoughts when you look at this group, Luds?
Well, the first thing, a couple things stand out for me in this one is that left winger down there in the third.
I couldn't help but notice Milan Lucic as well.
Coming back after got 2-3 years off. He was a force when he was in his prime with Boston, one of the toughest guys in the league. Army's brought him in for a reason, and he knows exactly where he stands. We'll see how he plays tonight. That top line, though, I think that can be if you look that line, if you put them together from last year, they've got 87 goals combined. The top line for the Stars, all the big dogs have about 97 or 95 or something like that. So I think this is a line that Monty's got together, and it might. When you look at it, you could see this being one of his better lines if they decide if they can play well together. But other than that, they've got some younger guys in there and guys they're obviously taking a look at yet, and a couple of first rounders are getting their first kick at the can. I think it's Stenberg and one of their defensemen, first rounders from 23, I think he said. So anyway, they're still searching for a couple guys, see if they can find a couple holes here.
And they're not playing Robert Thomas tonight. Pavel Buchnevich, Braden Shen. So they can add a few pretty decent players into their lineup. This actually seems a little bit lighter. Take a look at the defense. You mentioned the same thing. A little bit lighter for St. Louis tonight than Dallas. They've got another game in a couple of days. Dallas, of course, knowing that they are ready, kind of ramping up a little bit. But they will have some of their, Broberg and Justin Falk will be mainstays for them. The other guys are the ones that they're taking a look at.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the Lindstein kid is a first rounder from 23. And Kessel, we've seen a little bit of him. Hofer's starting tonight?
Hofer is going to be in net. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, they don't have Parayko in the lineup tonight. They don't have Cam Fowler. Young Tyler Tucker's 25. But they think Kessel has a chance to make this roster and be part of the 7. So it'd be interesting. Well, maybe they also have Torrey Krug, who's done for the season and I think for his career. It sounds like he was not coming back from that.
Yeah.
I think was that he was out. So tough stuff for him. All right, we have some video clips of Gully you guys talked about a couple of themes, and I want you guys to react to those from what he said today. We'll do that right after the break here on the Stars Pregame Show here on DLLS.
Buckle up.
Hold that mic.
Become a big. Mentorship reshapes futures, strengthens communities, and drives economic progress. Together, we can change the odds and build a better tomorrow. Bigs and littles hang out a few hours a month doing normal, everyday activities like seeing a movie, doing homework, playing games, going out to eat, or just hanging out. Each big and little match is supported by a dedicated match support specialist who is always there to provide resources and support. Enter your zip code on the site to find your local Big Brothers Big Sisters agency in your area and then complete the online inquiry form. Upon completion, a Big Brothers Big Sister staff member will contact you. Go to bbs.org/ALLCITY for more information to sign up to become a Big today.
Luds, you done?
Just waiting on you.
Thanks, Luds. I appreciate that. Why don't I talk to y'all?
Playing hangman over there?
Why don't I? No, I already did that. Why don't I talk to y'all about the YouTube Supporter Club? I can't pull off y'all. YouTube Supporter Club is for true sicko level stuff for the real ones. If you join the Supporters Club, it's separate from being a diehard. You get all kinds of exclusive benefits like the cool emojis that you're seeing in the corner there. I'm just going to name them off the top of my head. Cowboy, the Bing Bong, the...
you want some help?
You told me last time.
The Anthony Davis
unibrow.
88.
80. We got so many good
Sam
ones there.
can't read these.
No.
They're too far away and too small.
You would think I memorized them by now too, but I
Dirk.
You get, just let me know.
You get plenty.
Pop, the
plenty
Cowboy
of
Star,
exclusive emojis.
Win.
You get the cool badge so that your name stands out in the chat, and you get your questions answered because it's just natural for our eyes to go right to it. And you get some behind-the-scenes videos from the DLLS Stars crew, or I guess DLLS people in general. DLS crew in general, not just the Stars. We filmed one of them. We're going to do some more. Plenty of cool stuff. Join the Supporters Club because you guys are true sickos if you're watching this show. So
hey, Luds,
why not make it official?
Ardell said Luds could roll out of bed and do a read. He killed it. And then T.O. said Luds is the king ad read. And then one of my favorites.
These people must all be drinking.
It might be. And then Scott wrote, I can't wait for another Sam fail read.
Appreciate it.
I knew you could.
When did I fail?
I think pretty much every read.
Yeah,
it's okay. All right. So you guys talked about some really interesting things. What's Gully looking for tonight? Well, this was his answer this morning at the Frisco morning skate before they flew to St. Louis.
You know, what I'm hoping, to be honest with you, I'm hoping we get a few power plays, and we put out some work in this week on our power play unit. So, you know, maybe I have to tell Wes McCauley that we need at least 3 tonight. But But yeah, that's what we're hoping. You know, especially teams, and then some of the stuff that we've been working on all week with our coverage and our line rush against stuff. So that's what I'm hoping we can see in the game. A tune-up.
Don't ask me to comment because he was whispering in my ear that Gully's a good-looking guy.
My favorite.
So I couldn't hear anything because he's telling me how good-looking he is.
The reason why I played that was, yes, he wants a tune-up, but he also...
We've got it recorded.
What I really thought was interesting and funny was...
We talked about the power plays. I heard that. And then
he said, hey, I want to work... We've been working on power plays. I hope we get a few tonight. And then he says, we might have to give Wes McCauley pull him aside and ask for 3 or 4.
Well, they're due, right?
Listen,
they had 7 against on Saturday.
If you got Big Milan in there... And Bastion, somebody's going to take an instigator
you think so?
tonight. No, I think it might get a little nasty. Hopefully something happens in one of these.
I mean, no offense. What else does Milan Lucic do at this point in his career?
He creates space. That's it. But the only way you can create it if he can get to the pile to create it.
Yeah.
So the pile may be leaving and he may be coming. So we'll find out.
Okay, you mentioned Sam Steele when we started to talk about the lineup
I did mention
tonight.
him. Man of Steel.
Gully was asked about Steele, and he had an answer about Steele and his ability to be that utility.
Does Ryan know about our Man of Steel?
I thought he was very effective in last year's playoffs, and you guys would all probably agree. And I saw him early in Anaheim. I saw him as a junior in Regina, actually, 131 points, and then so first round pick. And then in Minnesota, I thought he played really, really well. He was on their top line, holding that fort for a while. So. I see him as a Swiss Army knife. That can play center, can play wing. He's a penalty killer. He's really adapted to really coming into this league as a skilled guy and now finding a great role on the penalty kill. I thought he was fantastic last year in the playoffs. So, Swiss Army knife is where I see Sam.
How important is that for a team to have a guy like that you can trust, because not everybody's going to be available every night?
Yeah, you need those guys. And what I like about our roster, our team, is that just we have more than one of those guys. Sam's kind of taken I think a little bit of predominant role, but Borky can play left, right, or center, as a young player, and Segi, we've talked about, he can move around center and wing and left and right. So we've just a lot of those hockey players. It just allows the coach a lot of flexibility, right? You're not worried all the time if you have an injury to your captain or anything like that. You've got pieces that can fill in for a time being.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
I just thought of this just now.
Who?
Local kid here. Got a couple Stanley Cups.
Blake Coleman.
He does.
Sam Steele does.
I was just thinking of the way that Sam plays up and down the walls and skates, and he kills penalties and kind of can be an agitator kind of in your side. And I was thinking he kind of reminds me a little bit of Blake Coleman.
Blake
15,
a little
20,
bit bigger.
Not
much. Maybe
he
just
he wears
Yeah.
big pads.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. Big shoulder pads.
Big
Right?
shoulders on.
Yeah. But I mean,
But two very good players, good skaters.
I mean, what they are is they're good middle six guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they're accountable defensively. Steele's got some wheels on him. Steele's has got some wheels on him.
Yeah,
There's a
he's-
shirt
oh,
for
that-
it.
We got a super chat. Luds,
In other
this
words,
is
shut
a
up, Luds.
Heiskanen 99 Cup year from Stars 26 Cup year. Luds, what is the purpose of having Wyatt on the penalty kill when he has the worst plus minus on the team? I'm not a hockey mind. What am I missing?
You're not missing anything. I'm telling you, Wyatt is a good hockey player. Well, he's a great hockey player, obviously. But when it comes to the PK, there's holes in his penalty killing. And sometimes he gets attracted to the puck. We've seen him lose some lanes and some at the net, things like that. He's one of your top forwards. Again, they said the same thing about Mike Modano a long time ago. Why would you put Modano on? Because here's the one thing that when Wyatt becomes a little bit older, offensive players have offensive instincts. And what they're able to do when they're penalty killers, they can somehow have a sixth sense where they can read where pucks are going and lanes, and they can see them. So they use their instincts and they can pick those pucks off. Wyatt hasn't quite been there yet, but I think that's what they're hoping for. I mean, Wyatt's good in the circle. He's quick. And the other side of that is when you have 25 and 30 goal scorers that are out there killing penalties, sometimes it puts a little pressure on the power play guys, especially the defensemen, because they can't take the extra risk, because if they do, there's a chance of that shorty.
One of my favorite things about Patrick Sharp when he was killing penalties is if you made one little mistake, he's gone. And you knew you were in trouble because he wasn't getting caught.
And also, by being a good penalty killer, you're a better 5-on-5 guy because you pay attention to the details a little bit more. So Wyatt becomes that two-way forward. Again, Wyatt's what, 22, 23 years old?
23, I think.
I mean, when you see Wyatt, let's look in the crystal ball. When Wyatt gets, some reps in the PK and he gets to be better on that and does all the other things he does, let's see what he looks like when he's 25, 26
I was
years
wrong.
old,
He's
how
only
good he
22.
is.
Doesn't turn 23 until May.
Okay.
So
Didn't
playoffs.
he turn 21 during
during
that
the
Vegas
playoffs.
series?
Yeah.
And Wyatt is the guy that plays the most minutes. I mean, until Mikko came here, he was
the guy,
top minute forward every night.
Next one is a follow-up question to the Sam Steele answer when asking about Steele plugging in for Jamie Benn on the power play. And Gully's response came down. I clipped a little bit of what he initially answered, which is, no, I want Sam to play his game, not try to play Jamie Benn's game. But then he followed up with a really interesting thing about personnel on the power play.
What I like about the power play is when you add different pieces into the power play, you're adding in different players' skill sets, so that if you're watching that, now you should, as a coach, take advantage of their unique skill sets when they come into there, and not just say, hey, you've got to do this job. So, if he's not equipped with that job, you want him to do what he does best. And I think that gives your power play a little bit of unpredictability. So we like that part of it. And, we also have Rance that, if we have some good power plays, he might stay out a little longer, and then you've got a different look with kind of a blended group. So all that stuff, again, for me, is important because it keeps the other teams that are heavily pre-scouting you off balance a little bit. So
I love that. It seems such simple, elementary coaching to say, coach the players you have, not the players you want or the You can't just take this piece and try to wedge it into this space.
You're not putting square pegs in round holes.
Right.
Yeah. And Gully's just saying he's got a different toolbox. There's a couple different tools that he has that someone else may not. And you want him to be that, because one of the things that Steele does is he never stops skating, very similar to Wyatt. I think on the power play, he'll be a guy that can hunt pucks down too. And he'll go to the front of the net, and he's got some quickness, you know. And you talk about Rantanen, kept a couple extra minutes. One thing about Rantanen is you're never going to see Rantanen be one of the guys on their breakout if they use the drop pass or if they're going to use a double man swing. Very rarely do you ever see Rantanen in the picture.
Nope.
So all he's doing is he's going from the goal line or the half wall and offensively to about the blue line.
Yep.
That's
Standing
it.
right-
Yeah,
stands-
so he can
stands
stay
right
out
there.
there. Yeah, and when he plays, he doesn't generally move all over the ice. He hangs out in his neighborhood. You know he's to the left side of the goaltender or to the right side as you're looking at the goaltender. He hangs out in that area, makes great passes, makes great plays from there. So he's got more gas in his tank.
Well, Sam has been talking a lot about 1A versus 1B, Harley and Heiskanen, who plays on what. And Gully answered a bit about, for his coaching history, he's never really had two good units like this. It's usually been one stacked.
You know, probably the only team, every team that I've been on, there's really a predominantly one unit. And even going back into Vancouver with the Sedins. But it is nice to have somebody nipping at your heels. And what, again, with this roster, this is probably the closest I've ever seen if you wanted to call it a 1A and a 1B unit. And that's good. You know, the first day we practiced, I think Rance, that unit, scored 4 goals in the little thing, and then yesterday they didn't, but the second unit scored in live fire. So that little push is always helpful.
And you know, one of the things is you guys can't seem to get your communication and your signs down.
he writes worse than I do.
Which
I
is
wrote
something.
I took a lot of time to write that too.
What'd you write?
I wrote predictable versus unpredictable.
Thank you. That's the drop that you should have at the
That
ready
was
at all
about
times.
what we're talking about.
The good thing about having two units is that they can have two different looks.
Yes.
You know, and they do things differently. It'll be interesting with the Heiskanen versus the Harley, you know, things like that. Which guy plays in what unit? You know, again, if you're playing with Harley, you know he's a shooter first. And Miro seems to defer a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I think anytime you can have two different entries coming up the ice to get in, you know, into the offensive zone and have a look where you're using the half wall on one side, then you use the bumper in the middle, or you go from a diamond to two defensemen up top. You throw different looks at penalty killers, because then they're going to know what you do anyways, but the players have to decide it on the PK side. Okay, now we're facing this one. You know, and again, it's just giving them something else to think about.
And even if there's a split-second reaction to recognize that might be the delay that gets an opening and causes some chaos.
I do think, and because the comparison there, or the non-comparison about Jamie Benn and Sam Steele,
yes,
nobody's going to take away what Jamie brings. There's different things that Jamie brings to his game, but when it comes to the power play, nobody moves Jamie from in front, because I think part of it is because they're afraid, or they don't want to. They're not really interested in doing that. But Jamie, you watch Jamie, and we've seen enough play. Jamie gets to the top of the crease. He looks behind him. He looks where his feet are, and he doesn't move. He knows he's not in the crease. He plays a really good net front presence. He's got good hand-eye. And that's, I think I would love to see that on both groups. And maybe that's where Sam Steele, I don't know if they would use Steele on the half wall. Maybe he can be that Jamie Benn-like on one of those units.
Jamie's also great at, when someone does come try to move him, he finds a way to get that stick right between the legs.
Yeah.
very
Like,
often.
No, you're not going to do that.
Luds, this
Yeah,
last
like, I'm not
clip I
moving.
had is more of something that we could talk about during the week on a regular show, but I thought it was really interesting because I want you to respond to this.
Yeah, the games are. But if you could see yesterday in practice, I'm dialing down practice a little bit. I want to get more in an NHL rhythm rather than an out of the training camp rhythm. So, you know, those hour practices are going to go by the wayside, quite frankly, with this schedule. So yesterday I think was 38 minutes. And then, you know, as we go here after tonight's game, tomorrow will be another short one. We have a day off. And then, you know, we're going to get on an NHL schedule here and get out of this training camp schedule.
If you listen to any networks that are talking about the season and things like that, every coach is talking about this, and mainly it's because of the compressed schedule, because of the Olympics. You know, there's going to be 20-some days off in that one pocket right there. So everything is compressed in the beginning and everything is compressed at the end. They have to find places to get some rest for some of these guys.
And they can't practice for an hour plus. And everybody says, oh, an hour doesn't seem that long. For hockey, if you want to be at any tempo or high pace, an hour is a very long
and
time.
especially at the
long.
beginning in the first month and a half, there's going to be a lot of standing around because you're going over positioning where you should be on the ice and things like that. I'm getting the whirly bird over there, so I guess
it's been
Ryan
a half
wants
an
us-
hour.
let's
We
go sit
can
on
be
the
done.
couch.
shut her down.
Thoughts about what your last things you're looking for as we get ready for preseason game number 5?
I'm looking for Nils. I'm going to watch Nils and see how he plays tonight. And I've always keeping an eye on Bork, but I think you want to just see how the flow of the game goes with these guys because they're one game away from starting regular season.
Sam?
Yeah, Justin Ritzkovian. This is a big. I mean, Glenn Gulleson said straight up, he's not completely erasing everything that's happened in the preseason, but the game, the 2 games here are going to be more important in his mind against NHL.
You're done.
lineups.
All right, he pulled his mic away. It's
I
it.
don't think I talked the whole show. I was trying
For
to get
Luds,
something in
for
here. Right?
Sam, for Ryan, I'm Owen. Thanks for watching. Make sure to get in that chat. Sign up for the Supporters Club. Get those tickets. Stars Takeover. They're going fast. Come watch a hockey game at the AAC with us.
That's why we got to wrap it up because he
Eat at
doesn't know how
Hooters,
to.
all the
He just
things.
go
We're going
on and
upstairs.
on.
We're going to go watch Lud eat about 5 more bags of Fritos, some pretzels, and
I
a
can't
hockey
ever get
game.
to 'em. I
And
keep
we'll be right
dumping 'em
back
on the
here for the
floor.
post-game show here on DLLS.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight. I do.
We all silly like the mayor.